I didn't know I'm talking to my dog. I did not know if I was gonna burn my lip. Okay, so hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl P. Today we're just waiting on my guest to show up. She should be popping in a second. I'm so excited for this one. Okay, here she goes. Hey!
I've not had sleep in like 48 hours, so glasses are on because I look crazy as hell.
Oh my gosh, why haven't you been asleep?
I have been, I took like 3 weeks off,
Hmm.
and I'm like, okay. Well, actually, I have news that I was waiting to tell you about over the phone, but I'm moving to Texas.
When you moved to when you what first off, what part of Texas?
Houston, actually.
Oh, okay, you come
I'm
to my
getting ready to come
city.
down there and go house hunting soon, so
Oh, I wanna go with you when you go house hunting.
absolutely. I have to get through Exotica, Chicago, and I have like all these tour dates lined up until then. And then after that, I'm house hunting.
Oh, you really gotta come down here and snatch me up, okay.
Told you I'm
No.
coming for you, baby. No, I'm just kidding.
So, okay, we'll talk about that off of here because I was, like, looking at houses in different areas, and I could tell you about all the
uh,
areas and
I'm
stuff.
gonna send you some of the ones I'm looking at, and you can tell me if they're good areas or not.
Okay, cool. But yeah, it's some good houses out here for a decent
The
budget.
low, well, especially compared to Cali, what I'm used to, like houses almost everywhere else are very,
Mhm.
they're a lot cheaper compared to what I mean, LA. So it's like you can buy like a piece of shit for like a half a million, like a two-bedroom piece of shit for like a half a million in Los Angeles County.
Yeah, see, I can't be doing all that now.
My brother just bought a house for 400,000. It is 1,300 square feet.
Damn, do you know what you get for 400,000 out here?
A mansion,
Whew, man.
a mansion
$400,000 house out here, yeah, you
on
getting.
some acreage. You're gonna have a nice yard. You're gonna have
Mhm.
what?
Yeah. But okay, so we didn't even we can talk about this off here. So we didn't even introduce you. This is Coco. Do you go by Coco to go or just Coco or how do you
So I go by just Coco, but like my stage name is Coco's Dungeon. But I'm always gonna be the go.
Okay. Okay. So what platforms can everyone find you on?
I am mostly found on for my spicy content on OnlyFans. You can find me on Instagram, Coco the Go, or all my other media under Coco's Dungeon. So that's Twitter, OnlyFans, ManyVids, all of that is going to be Coco's Dungeon.
Okay, cool. Um so I just like I said, I just been getting my friends on here just to kind of have casual conversations, talk about our love life and just normal chit chat. I was like, I'm just gonna get all my friends to come on here and talk
That's
with
super
me.
dope.
I didn't want to do it like an interview, even though I'm wearing my podcast shirt today. I didn't I don't want to do interviews on this channel. I just want
Right.
it to be just regular conversation.
Casual combo.
But it's kind of hard not to because it's like all my friends have something to talk about. So I want them to like promote their brands and
Yeah, but it's not as like interviewee. It's more like just like natural go with the flow kind of thing.
hmm. Yeah, for sure. So what you been up to?
Man, you know.
Oh,
But honestly, just trying to get like I got a bunch of tour dates coming up, so I'm just trying to like mentally prepare myself for being out on the road again
okay.
because I have really been inside this entire year, like wholeheartedly. Like I've gone out and done my thing here and there, but
Hmm.
like in terms of like actually being on the road like I normally am, I haven't been. So I think that's made me so lazy. Like to the point to where I don't even want to go because it's like, I just want to be at home in my bed. Ever since the bed I bought was the problem.
Okay, so tell everybody about that bed because that was a nice ass
The
bed.
bed I bought was the problem. Let me tell you, because all I ever want to do is go sleep in my bed now.
It looks
Like
so
I'll be
comfortable.
working, right? And I'll be like, I'm only an hour from home. I'll just go home. And when in all actuality, if I stayed like the next day, the next morning, that night, I would make a lot more money. But I'd be so like, I want my bed. And I'm like, okay, get away from the bed. Get away from the bed. Do not buy a purple bed, anyone, unless you never want to leave it.
Yeah, that just looks so comfy. Okay, so you mentioned going to Chicago Exotica. You got any plans for
Mhm.
that or
I have like 17 shoots already lined up.
God, that's a lot.
A lot is an understatement. And then like I plan to work with like a few of the people that I previously worked with at Exotica Miami. And
Mhm.
then I just have a bunch of people that I really just want to like I can't wait to see. So I'm trying to not get like too oversaturated with bookings. You know what I mean? Because like I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to see Dylan. Like there's a few people that I'm just like, all right, like I need my time with. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
because obviously I'm there to work and obviously I'm there to network, but there's also people that I cannot wait to get, you know what I mean, to get in the same city as or the same space as. So
See, and
it's like I have to make time for that as well.
that'd be my problem. Last year when I went, I mean, I knew people in the industry, but I told all my friends like I'm not there to talk to y'all. Like
Oh
I'm
yeah.
here to like be at Chatterbait's booth, and really I spent either my time because I was in the BBW fashion show and I was at Chatterbait booth, and that's really where I spent all of my time at, literally from open to close. But this year I definitely wanna see my I'm there to make money, yes, I'm still gonna be at Chatterbait's booth, but just not the whole time, and I wanna
Right.
see my friends, like, I wanna see all of y'all. I was dibbling, dabbling in the idea of maybe doing collabs, maybe not, but I'm definitely gonna be doing, I want to do stuff with girls, and I want to do, like, TikToks and
Definitely. I want to get some more mainstream media that I can use, like, because I
mhm,
feel like I have like an insane amount of content, like that I can't actually promo anywhere besides Twitter. You know what
mhm.
I mean? And I feel like I'm not utilizing my other platforms to get the people on my, you know what I mean, on my actual media sites. I definitely want to make a bunch of TikToks. Like, are you going to be doing interviews at all?
No, not this time around. If I go
Okay.
to another Exotica, yes, just because it would be good to do interviews, but then when I do interviews, it takes the focus off of me and I battle this thing at Exoticas where it's like I need the focus to be on Paisley Hayes,
Exactly.
not me
Exactly.
doing interviews.
But
So that
you, yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, so I battle with that. But at the same time, if I'm in there with one of my friends or something and we just do like a little quick interview, then yeah. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
You're like
go
you're like, "I
around
don't
to the
have any
booth.
planned interview sections." Okay.
Mm-mm. When I'm there, I'm either gonna be at the Chatterbait booth or walking around like hugging people.
Mingling, yeah. I feel like when I went to Exotica Miami, I was so busy with just shooting that I spent no time at the event. Like, I think Friday, I walked around it for, like, an hour, Friday evening, and then Sunday, I went for a little while,
Mhm.
and by then, I was so burnt out, though. I think I shot, like, 25 scenes, though, that week. It was terrible. Like, not terrible, but it was it
So
was
what
tiring.
days are you getting out there? I'm gonna
I
try
get
to
there
go one.
Wednesday.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, I'm flying in
good.
Wednesday, and then leaving Monday.
Okay, I need somebody to stay with on Wednesday.
Come stay with me. I got a big ass Airbnb
Okay, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, so
because I made the mistake of getting a room in Miami, and I had literally enough scenes for like 6 months, but they were all in the same room, and it was just not giving for me. You know, like the outfits were different. My hair was
mhm,
already pink, so you know it was all from the same weekend. You know what I mean? But it's
yeah,
like it was just all the same exact. Here
yeah.
we are. Welcome. You know, it's just the same thing every time. So I thought the Airbnb would be better because then I could do like some kitchen, some living room, some, you know.
Okay, cool. Well, I might be just bouncing Airbnbs then. But yeah, I guess we'll talk about it off. But let me know like how much it is so I can pay for Wednesday night because I think that's the only night like I don't officially like have somewhere to stay. But I'm
I was
excited because
swatting your bullshit away. Nobody cares about you paying for a night. Your girl bye. Just swatting away your
no, but
bullshit.
no, that's the right thing to do. You have to offer because
It is
people
the
will
right
try.
thing to do to offer, but girl, I'm not one of them. I'm not
People
worried
will
about it.
steady try to mooch off of you in this industry. I've learned that they gonna
People
try to.
can't mooch off me. I don't even invite people that I don't like.
Oh, okay,
You
okay.
can't mooch. I'll be like, no, you can't come. Sorry.
But yeah, I want to get that kind of stuff accomplished. But I just, like I said, I was on the scale of like, do I shoot more boy girl or do I not? So I don't know.
I think you should go with whatever. Did I freeze? Okay, yeah, there we go.
Mm,
I think that whatever your gut tells you to do, that's what you should do. And don't let anybody else pressure you into anything else. Like I know we've had several conversations about you collabing, but at the end of the day, that's just like a solely money standpoint. You know what I'm saying? Like,
mhm,
and you're a very savvy individual. You can make good money doing other things. Like, and you can limit, you know what I mean? Like,
mhm.
there's nothing wrong with only doing content with like one or two people or none at all or only girls or continuing what you're doing and just networking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
It's
I don't think you should do it if you don't want to do it. Don't let anyone pressure you otherwise.
okay. I haven't let anyone pressure me, but it's kind of hard. I always use this reference. If all my friends were rappers and they're all got these dope ass rap careers going on, they're like, Paisley, hop on and do a feature. I'm like, nah, y'all know I ain't no rapper. Like, look at me, I'm not a rapper. But then it's just like all your friends are rappers. Like, are you not gonna hop on a feature? And just test it out?
So, dig the analogy, but hopping on a feature is a lot different than hopping on a date. But that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? Dig, love the analogy though. But hopping on the mic is different than rocking the mic.
I know. I know. No.
But you know, there's pros and cons to both sides of things. Like the reality is right now where you sit, you still do something that you can actively explain to your daughter.
Yeah.
Porn is a little bit different when you get to talking to your kids. And the older our kids get, that's more of a reality I think that we don't like to be honest with ourselves about. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like where it's not just like, like you're just trapping or it's like not where it's like super secretive like it used to be. You know what
mm.
I mean? It's like this whole new wave of content creators and porn stars and stuff like that. And I just think about the conversations that our kids are going to be having in their early teens and early you know what I mean? Like everybody's mom's gonna be an OnlyFans mom or a content creator, or like who's gonna help us when we're sick? No more doctors and lawyers and things. You know what I mean? Like I just I think that if it's for you, it's for you, and if it's not, it's not. And whatever you're comfortable with, that's what you should do.
I mean, that is true because for the most part, besides the one person that I just did fluid swapping with, is like, it's just me. I'm just behind the
Exactly.
screen.
Exactly. You're at home, basically green screened up, you know what I mean, doing content for you, by you. And it's a lot different than collabs where you're collabing with, like, you got to think, like, some girls are collabing with 50 to 200 dudes a year. Think about it. Think about all these girls
You just
who
got me
are,
excited because I don't have sex. It's just like, oh, damn. Oh, 200
she's like,
guys.
who,
Yes.
turn it down.
But no,
So
I get it. I get it.
so
You
it's
don't.
it's definitely pros and cons. Like I think this is the thing, right? Is once you do it, you just gotta fucking go for it because you're gonna make crazy money, like I told you, because you already have the notoriety that most girls have to work for to get to in
Mhm,
the industry to make good money. And because you don't have content with other people are gonna be like, oh my god, I have to have it. I have to buy this video. Why? Because I might not see it again. You know
mhm.
what I mean? And so you have all of those things going for you. But once again, you know what I mean? Once you decide to do it, you're gonna make a killing. But if you don't, you're still gonna make a killing. You kick ass on cam.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll think about it.
You can still collab without collabing, if that makes sense. Like I think you can still get the promo and the the target your page and get yourself out there with it just by going to events and doing TikToks and doing things like that to market yourself to the right audience without even having to do a lot of collabs for real.
Okay. Yeah, I know. All right. Well, I'll keep that in mind.
But if you do, call me.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, oh, I just want to do some collabs with girls too, but
I do honestly, girl collabs make more money anyway. You make way more money doing collabs with girls. Like my girl on girl videos, I sell for like double, sometimes triple, because it's
So
just so
here's
many girls are sucking POV. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm like? It's not like a lot of too much different stuff going on in the world. Everybody does OnlyFans now, and everybody's doing partner content. Even if it's not collaborating with other creators, they're still doing content with their boyfriend or the people that they're sexually active with. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? So I feel like that aspect of it. What is some dope? Sorry,
Mhm.
got excited.
Yeah, so oh, this is what I was gonna ask you. So I have done light things with girls. I would say like super soft, where we're like next to each other, like using our dildos, or I like put a vibrating toy on one of my friends. But it was no kissing, no fluid swapping whatsoever. But would you say that you have to work with girls that have something in common with you, like whether you're both big titty girls or kind of like have similar aesthetics? Because all the girls that I've
Oh,
worked with, I don't have similar aesthetics to.
I have mixed opinions on that. So this is my thought process.
Mhm.
When you do content with somebody who looks just like you, more than likely, you got two things. Okay. First, it's gonna go great because you're dealing with a market that already appeals to you.
Mhm.
Okay. Or it could go not so great because you're dealing with a market that's pretty much already subscribed to your other media because you're already their type.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of girls, they who do content together, they already are doing like shout out for shout outs together or retweeting or reposting little things. So their market has seen like little bits of you already. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Or we're all kind of like somewhat weirdly connected through the internet, you know what I'm saying? So your posts, even though you're not posting together, they're coming up. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
feel like a lot of times when I do content with girls like who don't necessarily look like me, like either they're not thick or they're skinny or they're Hispanic or black or whatever the case may be, I feel like that market works out better for me because I'm actually getting views from people who don't normally look for BBWs. Just like you. You are not a BBW.
Girl,
You're a thick
hey, I was just
girl.
saying this. I was a BBW last year. I was
No, no,
206
no, no. You were,
pounds.
you were, but still, proportionately speaking, when I'm thinking BBW, I'm finna
Okay,
go
let's
live
talk
right now.
about that because for somebody my size, especially when I was first coming in this industry, BBW girls are like, "You're not a BBW. Like you're 5'1", and look at you." And
I am 220 pounds, and I still get told I'm not a BBW.
I like that outfit.
But it's like shape and size and stature come into effect because I'm 220, but I'm almost 5'10
Mhm.
and I'm wide as hell.
Mhm.
Not necessarily fat as hell, but wide as hell. And a lot of times BBW gets misconstrued as just fat. And I don't like that. I don't
Yeah,
like
but
that.
see, in this industry, if you're not that toothpick size, even sometimes the girls with like BBLs and stuff get classified in this BBW category because they all
Most
just
of those girls were already BBWs before, though. That's why they're so wide and they just got a flat stomach. But I feel you. Because skinny girls who got BBLs will never be considered plus size because they were already skinny. Bitch, you cut the stomach off and slapped it on that wagon. You see what
Okay.
I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you're still a big girl. You're still a 14, 16. You just chop the stomach off.
Okay. But yeah, so it's hard. So I just took over the BBW title and went with it because
No, but I this is the thing when I what I where I was going with that is because BBW is such a wide range in this industry, especially, it's like anything like above like a 10 or a 12, all the way up to like a 22, 26, 28,
mhm,
30. You see what I'm saying? So it's such a wide spectrum. Like most of my friends, I would call thick. I wouldn't even call them BBW. You know what I mean? Because when I think BBW, I really think of a big, beautiful woman. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? Like, you thick and beautiful. You know what I'm saying? You ain't so big no more, mama. you done lost that.
Hey, once a BBW, always a BBW. Because them
Fair
skinny
enough.
girls they never accepted me.
Well,
So
and I feel like because your boobs are so big, your body will just never allow you to be small, small. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know these
Like, cause
things.
you, I swear to God, like if you just look at yourself from here up, you look way bigger than you are if you see your whole body picture. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then when you're sitting down, because your boobs make you have no torso, because I'm the same way. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're already short. And then when you sit down, it's like just tits and and hips. You know what I mean? That's
Mhm.
how I feel when I sit. I'm just like, where did the rest of my body go?
Yeah, that is true. I think that's why when people actually see me in person, they look at me like I'm crazy because most girls, they try to make themselves look smaller online where I don't really know how to adjust how I look, but I always look bigger online.
Well, they
And
say the camera adds 10 pounds. So if you're not photoshopping your shit like most bitches, then of course you're gonna
I mean,
look.
I'll do the little filter on the face now, but
Yeah, yeah, but that's different than, you know what I'm saying? It's accentuating angles and shit like that. That's different than going in and giving yourself a big ass and you don't have one, or you know what I mean? Like it's a lot. It's a lot of Photoshop going on out here. I didn't seen like and I was thoroughly surprised when I went to Exotica Miami actually because I didn't really recognize a few people. They're like, "Hey," and I was like, and then they told
so
me their Instagram name, and I was like, "Oh, hey," but did not recognize you, ma'am.
okay, so let's talk about that for a second. Because also this year I said I'm just gonna do whatever Paisley wants to do. So I've allowed my natural hair to come out. Like I was only doing blonde, but I've put my natural hair out. I stopped wearing make like you. I'm just saying. Last year you would have never saw me on here without no foundation, no drawn on eyelashes, none of that. And so I really just want us to be able to embrace our natural beauty. One, because I think we're forgetting what that actually looks like as a society. Two, if all this technology, if all this shit was to just to drop and fail, we had to go back to how things were. We're not getting like wigs and lash. We're not doing all this. We're just gonna look like our natural selves, hair out, all that. So
But you got to think though, and I don't want to just say the BBL craze in general. I will say the BBL and social media craze has really led to women being super self-conscious and super like women are already super nitpicky on, you know what I mean, how they look, how they dress, how they all of these things. But I feel like over the last 5 years, the BBL craze has really like the body fixing, like all of that. And I feel like if that's what makes you happy, you should do it. And I feel like if that's what gives you confidence or makes you feel beautiful, or if that's just what you want, you should do it.
mhm.
But I also feel like what it's done to other women who don't do it or can't afford it or just aren't comfortable with it or whatever the case may be. I feel like as a society that's kind of fucking us up as a whole because like my niece, she's 16 and when she's dealing with a lot of issues, body issues and stuff right now because every time she goes on social media all she sees is all these unrealistic expectations and
Mm,
unrealistic body goals. The reality is most of these results cannot be attained in the gym, but girls go and get their body done and then start being gym influencers and then give all these young girls all these self-conscious issues
mm.
because they can't even attain anything near these results. You know what I mean? I feel like as a whole, filters are terrible. Makeup, I don't wear makeup. I'm really like, and it has nothing to do with like comfortability. I'm really just the laziest person on the planet.
Oh,
And
thanks.
and I'm like super 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 like into physical hygiene. So it takes me so long to shower and get my life together that I don't have time to spend an hour on my face and hair after that. Like and then I have kids, so I just don't. I'm literally running out of the house thanking God that I'm actually fully dressed and on time, let alone like trying to, you know what I mean? The most I'm gonna slap on is some lashes for a shoot. And that's just because I like the way they look.
Mhm.
But other than that, like, I'm really over the makeup aspect of my life. Plus, I feel like when I wear makeup, I look older now. I don't know if that's like a 30s thing or like the fact that a bitch is starting to get some, you know what I'm saying? But I don't like the way makeup looks on me anymore. Or maybe it's because I've gone like the last 5 years without wearing it at all. That I just don't like the way it sits on my face. And then if I get hot and I'm touching it, it don't look the same. I just don't. I just don't.
See, I really do like makeup, but I wish I had somebody just to come do my makeup. It's the fact of me doing my makeup. I feel
Maybe
like
that's what it is
I,
too.
I want somebody like come over. If I could have like I don't want to wear makeup every day, but if I could have somebody do my makeup 2 or 3 times a week, just so I can
Yeah,
get
I'm
my
rich
content.
already.
You said what? Oh, you must have got a call. You froze up. Mm-mm.
They're trying to give me some money. My bad.
Oh.
My bad. My bad. um, but yeah, I think more so it's just as a whole, I feel like we should just start like existing in our real life beauty. I feel like that's super
Mhm.
important because like all the girls that I know and I've met in this industry are like super pretty, like inside and out. Well, not all of them, but
Not
most of
everybody,
them.
no, no.
Not the ones I choose to deal with. You
Okay.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm big on energy. So like once we're cool, we're cool, we're locked in, like we're good to go. And it's like usually instantaneous. We either are like we're gonna click and we're gonna be good, or we're not gonna get along at all.
Mhm.
And there's really not a lot of in between for me.
That's that Reaper skill.
That is, it's like, all right, we're either great or we're really bad.
See,
No in
I'm
between.
good with everybody except it depends with Sagittarius women. I either really like them
Ooh.
or really don't like them. But really, typically, anybody else, I can maybe Virgo women. They could be a bit, I don't know, but everybody else, I pretty much can get along with as long as their energy's good.
I feel like I get along with almost all female signs astrologically. Males, that's a different level of compatibility. But I feel like because women are just more direct and like just like this is what it is, you know what I mean?
What
And I feel
male
like
signs don't you like?
Leos and Geminis, and I got a baby by each one.
Oh my gosh, my two favorite. Okay, so let's break them down. So why? Why?
Okay, so Leos especially because they want to run shit all the time, and I this is the thing, right? Is I am completely fine with letting a man lead, right? But I've yet to meet a man smarter than me, has more money than me, or doing better than me.
Ooh, yes.
So who the fuck are you leading? Me. Dummy
Yeah.
is not tattooed right here. It's my son's name. It's not dummy. We're not doing that. Like you can't. You're not gonna lead me, sir. Clearly, I have it figured out, and you do not. So who should be leading who here, King?
Okay, so I'll say this. Okay, since we're on Leos, I have a lot of Leos in my life. Most of my male friends, my two closest male friends are both Leos, but most of my male friends are Leos. My sister's a Leo, my daughter's a Leo, and then I have about 3 female Leo friends. I'll s-
Leo are
just
pretty cool. Men,
just
eh.
you said what?
I said the Leo men, eh. Leo women are pretty cool though.
See, I like the men more than the women because them Leo women could just snap. Okay, but I'll say this. One thing I have noticed is when a Leo would like as a friend or whatever, if they really like you, they're going to allow you to still take the shine. They're not going to take all the shine from you. But if they don't really care about you, I feel like that's when they come across as they want to run everything. They don't want to take what you have to say into consideration. They think they're always right. They're typically the cockiest ones in the room.
Have you
You,
dated a Leo?
you said what?
Have you dated a Leo? Because I have some
Um,
great Leo male friends. Like they're phenomenal. You know, they give great
um,
advice, they're good listeners, like all of those things. But dating Leo is very egotistical and dangerous. Gets real toxic real fast.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. So okay, let's move to Gemini's.
Geminis are just batshit crazy. Gemini men are just batshit crazy. Like men are already, they say women are chemically imbalanced, okay, but men are already chemically imbalanced and mentally just like terrible communicators, right? And then you throw a Gemini into the mix where they're like literally two different people at any time of day. So it's like, how do you deal with that? My second baby daddy is literally two different people, and all it takes is like a, and it might change a little flow of the wind, a little blow of the wind, you know. And I've dated another Gemini, the exact same thing, hands down. But they're still manageable. Like I can still deal with a Gemini the way I can deal with a Leo because you still get like the sometimes okay, you're sometimes sane. You know what I mean? And then sometimes you're not. But with the Leo, it's like you're just always insane, just like
But
a
what? No,
Pisces.
they're not always the same. What if you meet a nice guy, Leo?
Then his moon is in something else.
Hmm. Okay.
I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go
That's like a
ponder.
Pisces. Pisces. Pisces are the most toxic men I've ever met in my life. You know why? They're
Hmm.
like fairies that lure you in to eat you. They're so beautiful, they're so sweet, and they make magic happen. And then they eat you.
Damn. Yeah, I don't think I could date a Pisces man. If I'm gonna date a Pisces, it has to be a woman because they're a little too emotional for me. I don't really like all the emotions, but if I'm gonna deal with that, I can deal with that from a woman better than I can a man.
Hmm.
Okay,
That
so what
Pisces shit
signs
get
are
dangerous.
what sign do you want to date? Like, what is your compatible sign?
No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, I like Aries. They're very mellow. I like Virgos. Virgo men and women are like my soulmates. So I'm surrounded by Virgos. Like my best friend's a Virgo, my son's a Virgo, my sister's a Virgo. Like I'm surrounded by Virgos. All my best friends, all my male best friends are Virgos. Like they're all born in the same terrible month. But I feel like we get along because my thing is this, right? This is why I like Virgos. Is while they're a little crazy, they are predictable,
Yeah.
consistent. They're consistent. Now they may be consistent in their fuckery, but they are consistent, and I do love consistency.
Oh, okay,
I
I can
like
see that.
somebody who is the same across the board from the time I meet you. Like you don't switch up, you don't do weird things. It's not one thing one day and one thing another day. Like
Hmm.
if you're always mean, you're just always mean. If you're always snappy, you're just always snappy. I don't like the highs and the lows. I don't like one day it's all perfect and sunshine and then the next day you're like, I'm depressed.
Hmm.
You know, I like consistency and I feel like if Virgos are nothing else, they're consistent in their bullshit.
Okay, so my 8-year relationship that I got out of last
No,
October,
don't tell me he's a Virgo.
yes, and we were the most incompatible. Now, the things that you said, they're gonna be the same way across the bat, but the problem is, mine was like he started to get, mm,
Complacent.
yeah, stagnant. Didn't have that hustle, that drive, like I need, like that, like lack of passion.
Now I will say that about most Virgos. They are content motherfuckers.
Yeah, and I can't. I'm not content. They will be consistent. Like through the 8 years, he ain't switch up on me. Like but
Consistent.
we, but we weren't compatible because while they're like this, a Sagittarius is like this.
Right.
We're just down for the ride. We're unorthodox. I don't want the same schedule every day. Virgos are perfect. If they have a woman and they have the same consistent routine, they love it. I'm not like that. And so
Yeah.
about halfway through our relationship, I went from having that regular type job to doing this industry. So 4 years, it was like me working a regular job. In the last 4 years, it's been me this. And I could tell like that person really just didn't like it. which is why I say I feel like I need to date someone who is doing something similar to me, whether they're a sex worker or a creator of some sort, like because I feel like they're the only ones that will understand. But back to Virgos.
I'm getting to that point too because when you deal with non-industry people, right? I just literally had an argument like this like not too long ago.
Mhm.
And the first thing somebody wants to bring up when you're mad is that you suck dick for a living. Like, bitch, you knew that, and you still kiss me in the mouth. What's the point of that little jab? How did the dick taste? Because we both had it. You see what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like when you deal with somebody not in the industry, you deal with a lot more like inadvertent jabs and bullshit because
Mhm.
they don't look at it as work. They really think you're fucking for fun or your enjoyment or like they think like all the shit you're doing in those videos is like real. You're like really
Yes.
enjoying it and you're not putting on a show. So I can agree with you in that aspect. Like I see all these like super happy industry people and I'm like that's the only way I'm going to be able to be happy, or I'm just going to have to be single until I'm out of the industry. And then, even then, right? Either you have two choices. You're either going to try to keep it a secret, or it's still going to be the same kind of judgment and issue. You know what I mean? Even though you're out of the industry now. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? So I'm kind of starting to gear. At first, I wanted to feel like I don't have to date somebody in the industry to be seen, and you're right. It's definitely right.
See, I was like, I don't really have to date somebody in the industry, but then it's just like most guys, if they're not in the industry of some sort, I feel like they either don't make enough money and are their conversation is not where my conversation is at. Like I don't want to hear you complaining you over there working at Walmart or something. I don't want to hear you complain about those like those complaints you would have with customers or what like I don't want to hear that. Like ew, I'm past that.
I can relate to that too because like I don't I want a man who is busy, but I also don't want a man who got to work like 16-hour days just to make ends meet.
Yeah.
Like I understand a busy man and then you have something to show for that busyness. You know what I'm saying? But like so many people are literally working two jobs, two full-time jobs just to be able to survive.
Mhm.
And that doesn't make sense. Like when people be like, "Oh, what are you doing for your birthday?" and I'm like, "I'm going to Bali." Like, I need somebody who could be like, "Cool, when is your flight?" so I can book mine too. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need somebody who's like, "Damn, when is it?" Well, I don't know if I
Girl,
can
okay, I need to be one of
afford
them bitches
uh,
that got a
uh,
passport. I need to get my passport, like,
get a
no,
passport
so I
ASAP
can come too.
because Aruba in September, Bali in October.
Okay, okay, okay. So
Book your
I need to
flight.
work.
The place is
I'm
already paid for.
okay. I need to get my passport in April because yeah, I'm about to kick off shit this year.
I'm what? I can't wait. This is
Okay. So then, if you
able to get my
date,
passport, so I'm like, I'm out of here.
okay, well, I'm working on getting mine. Give me. It'll be in like 6 to 8 weeks.
No, that's all we need.
So if you date also in the regular world, say a guy that is more affluent and does have money, he either want to be like a trick or sugar daddy type, or he's gonna judge you for based off what you did, not really take it like.
Save you. And I don't
Yeah.
like the savior complex.
Mhm.
Like I date a lot of like well-off men in my work life, you know?
Mhm.
And a lot of them, especially men, older single men who are doing well, they have like that savior complex cuz like, I trap on the side. I don't just do content. That's
Mhm.
predominantly what I'm known for and do. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, when people are like, oh, you wouldn't be doing this if you were doing well in life. Kind of that's like the mentality. Like, and I'm like, yo, if you only knew what I made a month, you would not say this to
Yeah.
me. And I post up my numbers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have at least a broad generalization of what I'm pulling in just off one network, and then everybody sees that I'm always on the road touring too. So it's
Mhm.
like but men still think that because you're doing this, it's because you're lacking something in life or you're not, you know what I mean? Like you're not
Mhm.
able or you don't have the money or you can't like literally I'm doing better than like 90% of the dudes who come get at me. You know what I'm saying? Like I have more cars than you, I have more homes than you. You know what I'm saying? Like people think because you do this that you live in like a two-bedroom apartment somewhere
Yeah.
with your three fucking kids and three dogs and don't have shit. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And some girls do. Some girls live in hotel rooms and it's no judgment. But the reality is that's not the situation for every girl in this lifestyle or this industry.
Mhm.
Like some of us are really getting a fucking bag out here and we're enjoying our lives and we're getting it while the getting's good. Cause baby, I ain't finna look like this forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and I feel like a lot of men don't understand that it's it's not 20 years ago where girls were out here, you know what I'm saying, selling coochie because they had nothing else, or you know what I'm saying, girls
Yeah.
were doing porn because they couldn't succeed in any other aspect of life. Like, no, bro, it's easy, it's good money, and I could spend more time with my kids than you bitches who work all the time.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Don't realize is as especially as a single mom, like everybody, it's not a secret. Both my son's fathers are in prison. So I am really truly a single parent. I don't have help. I don't everything I do costs me money. You see what I'm saying? Like my kids facilitating my childcare, everything like that. Like I have a live-in nanny. You see what I'm saying? So that I
Mhm.
can make my lifestyle work. So a lot of people don't realize the amount of time that goes into trying to do this and juggle having kids, just like trying to work and juggle having kids. But the reality is, I spend more time with my kids and I'm able to provide them way more life experiences than if I worked at fucking Walmart.
Mhm.
And it's not like I went to college. I have my degree in children's behavioral psychology. Like I could have used that to go do something else too that would have made me no money.
Yeah.
And then I would still be at home work living paycheck to paycheck. I wouldn't own a house. I wouldn't own anything. You know what I'm saying? And I would just be out here just surviving. And that's never what I wanted. I grew up in poverty. I refuse to for that to be the reality for my kids.
Yeah. And so I don't think people really think about that because I've just by the regular people in my life, I've been like judged. They're just like, well, what are you gonna tell your daughter? Or what you ever think about going to get a real job? Like that's what cracks me up the most.
The real job.
When you gonna get a real job? Cause that ain't gonna last forever.
You make
And,
$400 a week and you worked 40 hours. Please leave me alone. Talking about a
and
real job.
so when I tell them that, or it's just like, for instance, my kid, she wasted something on her pants at school the other day, but I can be there in 10 minutes. If I'm back at Whataburger, I gotta first figure out when I could take a break. So she's sitting up there with wet pants. I could, you know, you there? You broke off.
I'm listening. I'm listening to you. Keep going.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, so she had wasted some stuff in art class. But anyways, I wouldn't have that time. I wouldn't be able to do that if I was working a job because I still have to ask my boss for permission. I can't just automatically go or field day. Like me doing this, I've been able to be at every single one of her field days. But when I was working a job, it was just like, damn, I don't know if I can get field day off or not.
Right. And it was like that for me with my oldest son. With my oldest son, like his first few birthdays were like barely home parties with like home cooking and like, like just regular what I could make happen. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? My youngest son, his first birthday was in Puerto Rico. His second birthday was in Hawaii, and his third birthday is about to be in Aruba.
There, can you be my mama?
I'll be your mama, all right. But you know what I mean? Like it's just a completely different dynamic. Like the
Mhm,
lifestyle I'm able to and I'm not saying that money outweighs anything. I'm just saying that experiences do. Like the lifestyle and the time that I'm able to give my children, they will remember forever. And that's what they're going to focus in on when they think about their childhood. They're not going to focus in on the fact that they found out I did porn
mhm,
or that I did meetups or that I did anything in the adult industry. You know what they're going to think about? What a fucking amazing childhood they had and how their mother did everything under the sun to make sure that they had it
mhm,
because they have cousins and family, and my kids have other siblings outside of me. You see what I'm saying? Like their dads have other kids and they see how they live, how their birthdays are, how life is when they go to their houses. You see
mhm.
what I'm saying? And so they get to see firsthand what it's like when what this lifestyle is able to provide. So I don't think it's going to be a negative experience when they look back at their
Yeah,
childhood,
exactly.
especially if it's not something that they're blindsided by. When
Mm.
they're old enough to know what mommy did or does, that's a different story. Like, I'm not gonna let my kids get to high school and some random dude be like, your mom does porn, right?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna put my
yeah.
boys through that kind of like trauma. Like I feel like if you know and you're not blindsided by it, you're not embarrassed. But if you're blindsided by something completely, you're gonna be embarrassed and you're gonna be mad and you're gonna feel some type of way towards me because all I've ever projected to my kids was you could tell me anything as long as you tell me the truth. You could say anything
Mhm.
to me as long as it's with respect. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if I don't exemplify that to them, then I'm not gonna get the same in return.
Yeah. And yeah, that's exactly how I am. Like, just tell me the truth. You can tell me whatever,
You can say
but
whatever you want as long as it's the truth and it's respectful.
mhm.
You can say anything to me. And I feel like that when people are like, "Oh, you should get a real job," or "Oh, what are you going to tell your kids?" Like, what are you going to tell your kids that you worked 50 hours a week and couldn't give little Day Day anything? His shoes is talking at school. He can't get a car when he turns 16. You know what I'm saying? He turns to the streets, and now it's just a continuous, you know what I mean, repetitive
Mhm.
cycle. And it's like, if I had to suck some dick to be the one to break some generational curses, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And I am not ashamed of it. I don't live in anything other than that's what it is. Like if I'm not one of those people who's like, "Oh, I don't know what I'm going to tell my kids. Oh, I'm just not going to tell them or I'm going to let them find out or what." No. Like they're going to know their mama did what she had to do and she gave you a life you wouldn't have been able to dream of otherwise.
Yeah.
Because if you grew up where I grew up, we wouldn't even be having these conversations. You know what I mean? And my kids know that. I did everything in my power to get them out of there.
Yeah. Oh, I need me one of them Red Bulls. But yeah, so I'm glad we got to go off on the parenting topic because I that's one thing I haven't okay, I do have this video where I have like 10 people in the adult industry and we're all talking. I haven't released it yet. It's about parenting, but I haven't talked about it on live with people yet. Um
I feel like that's one of the biggest things that I'm always talking about in any kind of time I do like interview or like even talking live with some of my friends, like I like to
mhm,
talk about parenting in the industry because I feel like all the other aspects of the industry are continuously talked about. Like, you know what I mean? You can go to all my platforms and see what I do. You can see what I'm about. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I feel like the hardest aspect of this industry is finding that comfortable medium to be able to be a parent and still be a content creator or a porn star or whatever it is that your genre is. It's finding the balance to do both because it's like, we're not just sex symbols all the fucking time.
yeah.
Sometimes we are bonnet on, headscarf tied, looking crazy, doing dishes at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Mhm,
Sometimes we've run around crazy all day, making money, trying to make life happen, that we're up cleaning all night just to make our lives happen. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? And then we got to get up and be moms and get school, and we got to do lunches, and we got to do drop offs and pickups and all of these other things. While normal people go to their normal jobs, right? We're running around, we're making content, we're doing whatever it is that we're doing all day long. Then we're still facilitating the full time parenting. And let's be honest, the majority of us are single mothers.
Mhm.
So we're doing everything under the fucking sun and still making it happen. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's a part of the industry that just isn't talked about enough. Like, you could be a kick ass porn star, but are you a kick ass mom?
Whew, yeah, so that's a good one. Moving forward into this year, one thing that I've been trying to really maintain in my life is balance. So I've added things on my schedule, like making sure that I incorporate that time with my child. So I'm not just like, oh shit, we didn't spend no time together this week. So,
Mhm.
every day after school is like her time. That 4 to 8, I know I'm at least giving her that every day because she's at school all day and then the other times it's sleeping. So incorporating that, putting a cleaning schedule because I would just go all day literally sitting in my one spot and then I'm just like fucking tired. Like I don't feel like doing laundry. But having those schedule blocks, those time blocks on my schedule to do those types of things and my own stuff. Like literally I have not been focused on my happiness, no fun, no nothing in years. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like literally for the past 3.5 years, it's just like work, 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 work. And
Mhm.
I'm like, no, like I have to be more balanced.
Exactly. 'Cause it's like you're so focused on making the money, Then once you make the money, then it's like, okay, now I have to be a fucking parent. And it's like, then when I'm done doing both of those things, I'm so exhausted, like that I don't want to do anything. Like that's
Mhm.
why I'm always like advocating, like, we need a girls' trip, we need a girls' trip, we need a girls' trip,
Yes,
because
I need a
I
girl.
feel like and I'm talking about like a real girls' trip, not like obviously we're still probably will work a little bit, but not something that is like designated for work. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Because I feel like we don't get any women to women time with women who genuinely connect and have the same ideas, and you know what I mean, things like
Yeah.
that. Like I feel like there's just not a lot of genuine connections like that. And then we're always fucking running around being parents all the time, and we don't get like 4 days to just decompress. Like I'm not even talking about for no long period of time, I'm talking about like 3 4 days of just
Yeah.
like massages and, you know what I mean? Pedicures and, like stuff that is solely for us, not for anybody else, not on anybody else's time. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I feel like because we really work our asses off all day long, every single day. Like most days, we're both up before dawn, and most days, we're not going to sleep until well after midnight.
Yeah.
So where is the time for ourselves? There's not. So it's like it's
Mhm.
important to take those, like we are always talking about mental health days and mental breaks, and you know what
Mhm.
I mean? It's always important to take that time because this is an industry that is like super draining. Like men think that you are the pit of their sexual desire at any moment, at any minute of every day.
Yes.
So
Yes.
they feel like you're just like sopping wet at any second of every day, and you're just waiting and ready. And that's just not the fucking way the world works, sir.
Yeah, and let me make that clear. Just because I'm online, these men soak up my energy as well. They expect me just to be like ready, like at any given moment. I think part of that is my fault because for the past few years, I've allowed these men to, um, if they want to show, okay, give me 10 minutes, I'm ready. But
Mm.
this year I've been having to train them, and some of my regulars have been getting mad like, "Look, I'm really focused on my YouTube channel. I got other stuff going on besides just doing video chats now. So if you schedule them, in advance, I can make sure I'm ready."
So I have a thing. All my appointments, all my video chats, I require a. So if you want to do an on demand video chat, meaning right now, it's double, period.
Mhm.
Anything else has got to be scheduled because I work, I have kids, I have shit going on. Now, schedule doesn't mean like 3 days in advance. It could be like, hey, what time are you available today? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But if
Mhm.
you want something right now, right this second, so whatever I'm doing, I have to stop doing it. That's not worth $100 to me. That's not worth 75 because like I think my video chats, I just did a sale for my members. And I think I'm doing $50 video chats right now if you're a
Honey, these
member.
bitches ain't even charging that. They will do it for 20 and $30.
So I just started doing a members rate because I feel
Mhm.
like if you spend, you know what I mean, because my OnlyFans isn't cheap and stuff like that. My Snapchat Premium isn't cheap, so I feel like if you already spent that introductory rate, there should be some kind of incentive versus like, So I'm doing like a 30-day trial with the half off thing, and
Mhm.
then I'm also doing um weekly rates. So one video chat a day, and so but you have to do it it's like a weekly thing. So if you miss
Mhm.
a week, it's like, so every week if you do it, it's $500. We do a
Okay.
video chat every day and it's on demand. Now, on demand doesn't mean I'm going to FaceTime you with my dick out right now. It means you can FaceTime me anytime, once a day. If I'm not available to do something nasty, we can chat a little bit and I'll call you when I'm available. But
Mhm.
it does give you access to have my number. And I feel like 500 a week to be able to call me once a day is acceptable.
Yeah.
And that's gotten me a lot of traction actually, because like most dudes just want to be able to reach out to you when they want. Most dudes aren't even like on some creep. Like I got like 6 people doing it right now, and I think on average I do like maybe 1 or 2 sexual videos a week with them. And
Okay.
like that's crazy good. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
men just want to talk. A lot of them just want to talk and be able to have a nice, pretty lady to
Access
vent
to
to.
you just to be like, hey, how are you today? Or hey, what you doing? Like, like, and that's cool. Like I feel like that's not like an excessive amount, and it's also not like cheating me in any way. But I
Mhm.
feel like $50 or even $100, it's not worth me stopping exactly what I'm doing, because more than likely I'm either doing something with my kids and $100 ain't worth that, or I'm doing something that's making me an exceptionally a lot more money than that. So I'm
Mhm.
like, no, thank you. You have to wait. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of times I don't know if men think we're just all broke and just sitting there waiting for like a quick $25 to $100 or what, but like most of us are really fucking busy all day. Like we're not just waiting for one or two people to filter through. Like the people who are actually doing this as their job, we're busy all day.
Yeah.
We're constantly filtering through the people who spend money versus don't. And that's why people are like, "Oh, why do you act like that? Why do you, cuz I'm quick to be like, "Nah,
And
stop
see, okay,
messaging
and
me as
that's
soon as
not
you
to
don't
knock
spend
the
no
girls
money."
in the beginning, because I remember how it was when I got fired from my job,
Mhm.
and I'm at that November 2018. I'm at that point where I'm doing DoorDash, I'm selling my plasma, and I'm trying to like get these video chats. So I understand like some people really do be needing the money, but eventually you should get to a point where your prices are higher, your time's a little bit more exclusive, not just on demand. Because if you keep acting like a broco for years and just be available for them, they're just gonna treat you any kind of way and try to get a discount
This
every time.
mistake people make is that the price don't go up. The value should always go up. The better
Mhm.
your product becomes, the better you become, the more versatile you become, the more well versed you become in the industry and learning your value. Like, girl, when I first started out, I was selling Snapchat Premium Lifetime for $30. It's hard to get out. That actually hurt to say out loud. Um, because that's what everybody else was doing. All the other girls I seen were selling it for like $25, $20. And so I
Yeah.
was like, this is easy money. I'm gonna do it. And then I'm like, Lifetime is crazy, So like
Yeah.
I just would not post a lot because it's like Lifetime is crazy. Anything you get you should be happy with because it's fucking $25. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Or $30. So then I like from there, I did like different memberships. I had like six different memberships ranging from like 45 to 150, but they all required a monthly tip. Like the initial fee was higher, and then the monthly tip was anywhere between 25 and 50 a month,
Mhm.
depending on what kind of content or how much you seen. And I
Yeah.
felt like that was fair. And I did that for like 2 years, and it was like good money. I was able to make really good money off that and completely exist just off Snapchat like that. Like I didn't have an
Mhm.
OnlyFans yet. I didn't have many vids. I've never been a streamer. Like the per minute thing, I've always been a trapper, so it's like sitting in front of a camera and talking to people for free has always perplexed me in hell ways because like a trick got 3 text messages before I block him. Cause like on my ad, it'll say like send your name, age, and ethnicity, all of the
Mhm.
requirements, right? So if you don't lead with that, I'm not even responding. You know what I mean? So we should send a maximum of 5 messages before you're sending a deposit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I feel like that's why camming hasn't been engineered for me because I know girls who make so much fucking money on it that it makes me angry that I cannot get myself to have the patience. You know what I mean? Because like, who doesn't want an extra $10,000 or more a month? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
But at the same time too, I just feel like there's pros and cons to every aspect of sex work. So like
absolutely,
I could be sitting on there 3 hours and make $15 now. Like every day is not sunshine.
yeah.
But then
See,
I could
and
be sitting
it's
on
a
there
game of
20.
averages. It's a game of averages.
So I
Because
just trying
we
to
might
take it.
have a $15 day, and then you might have a five, six, seven, $1,500 day. You know what I mean? It really just depends.
Yeah.
Trapping's like that too, but ain't no $15 though. It's at least a minimum. I'm gonna make 250 no matter what.
But see the thing
If you show up, I for 15 minutes, I'm at least making 200 or more, straight up.
See, here's the
So
thing though. That's why I told if you're people look at me, they're like they want to try to do what I do, but you gotta realize when I'm on cam, I'm also trying to book video chats. I'm doing other things to compensate because if I just get $15 worth of tokens, that's a waste of my time. So that's why I set my daily goals. Well, for the rest of this month, my daily goals is 285 a day. If I can make that, then I can bring home another 4,000 by the end of this month. So that's what I've been trying to work on. But everybody can't make that. Some people have $20 days, and I'm just like, well, then what else are you doing to make sure that you reach your goals? Because if I
right.
got
So
off
what other
camera,
avenues?
you have to have other avenues to get money from. So I can hop on the phone lines if I'm camming is slow. I can hop on. I've hopped on literally. I've had fucked up days on cam. I've hopped on YouTube Live just teaching stuff, and I've gotten like 2 consultations. I'm like, whoa, there's my $300. Boom,
Ooh.
you know. So you gotta have hustle in you, and you gotta have some other way you can make money because camming is just kind of going down.
Yeah, I feel like that it's just an oversaturated market at this point, and then the
Mhm.
pandemic really didn't help because so many people were out of work and just looking for like anything to make a little bit of money. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And then people who work vanilla jobs, right? They're happy with an extra two, $300 a week because they just sat down for 40 fucking hours and only made 500. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? So they're ecstatic with making an extra $400 or $500 a month or
Mhm.
$1,000 a month. Whereas we utilize that as how we pay our bills, how we take care of our kids, how we, you know what I mean? So it's like the math doesn't math for us when we do that type
Yeah.
of shit.
And so when that was another thing I had to get over because when I switched from working from Whataburger, and then when I thought about the phone lines, 99 cents a minute, you would actually get 56 cents a minute. So if you can keep them on the phone an hour, you get $33 an hour. Well, I was only making $15 an hour for my other job. So when I'm like, ooh, $30 an hour, cool. But now look at that, like $30 an hour. Like,
Right.
whoo, I need so much more. So everybody's on a different level in life. I don't knock someone for what they think is good money, but it's just not good money for me anymore. Like I'm
Right. Right.
just a
That's
little
very
different.
true because every people are in different, you know what I mean? A lot of just that's just like a lot of money to one person is like pocket change to somebody else. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? It really just depends on your stature in life, where you're
Hmm.
currently at and what your decision making currently is. Cause a lot of people they just budget shitty. They make good money, they just budget shitty.
Yeah.
I used to be one of those people.
Yeah. Yeah. I could vouch for that. Me too. Because it's just like, dang. You just, especially when the first year of doing this, I'm
Uh-huh.
just like, dang. You getting good money because it's like more money than I was making at Whataburger, and I'm just like spending it, taking
And you get
myself
so
to eat,
spoiled by how fast you make it too.
and you're like, oh, I'll just make that back in a little bit, and
Yeah,
whew,
my biggest problem in life in terms of financial responsibility is that I equate everything I buy into how much time it's took me to make it. So like when I'm out shopping or when I do something, I'll be like, oh, shit, that's $600. Shit, that's only an hour. And I put it, you know what I mean? And that really is like the worst mentality to have because the reality is, yeah, you make that an hour, but bitch, you're not booked every hour, every day. You know what I mean? Like, be fucking for real. Like, don't get me wrong,
yeah,
I really make good money, but bitch, I'm not unrealistic. You know what I'm
hmm,
saying? Like, I've been on this motherfucker over an hour now. You know what I'm saying? So,
so yeah, I gotta let you get back to your money.
I've been still texting and doing my thing, but it's just my blunt will not stay. It's got a stem in it, and I hate it.
Mm.
I don't want to spark it in here, so I'm waiting until we get off video chat.
Oh, okay, okay,
I
gotcha.
don't want to do YouTube in the bathroom, and I don't want to smoke in this hotel room. So I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
want to smoke in the bathroom here. It's gonna be really steamy, so I'll just wait. But I think that yeah, it's just it really boils down to what you think is a lot of money and then creating a daily goal for that. And I feel like a
yeah,
lot of people don't create the daily goal. They're like, oh, I need to make $10,000 by this day. But they're not actually putting a realistic goal in their mind to how they can actually attain it. And that's just why they don't. Like
yeah,
the only people I know who hit their monthly goals are people who actually facilitate it like that. Like how you do. You're like, okay, I need to make X amount of dollars a day in order to make this happen, or X amount
hmm,
of dollars for the next however many days in order to make this happen.
yeah,
And that way your average changes on a daily basis based what you made on the day before. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Because like if I need to make $500 a day, but today I only make 300, that means I need to average that out over the rest of the day is what I'm missing.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I
Hmm.
feel like it really just boils down to realistic expectations and goals.
And then once you get there, that's what I've been doing this year, which April's approaching, so I'm gonna have to do it for April. But I've been averaging out the past 4 years, so from 29, I started late 2018, so I can't really count that year, but
Uh,
2019 through 2022, I add the past, like all the past 4 Aprils, and then I do that average, and I'm trying to beat that average. That's like the minimum I'm allowing myself to make. But then I also have like way bigger goals than what I've made the past 4 years. So just trying to reach those goals as well.
yeah,
But I definitely look at my numbers to do
I'm
sales
trying
projections.
to keep because like money wise, I make way more money than I did 2 years ago. Like
Mhm.
not nowhere even like to compare to. So I try to make it make sense in terms of like what I want to do and what I'm trying to save. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Because like if I compare like my OnlyFans numbers to 2 years ago when I started, like, girl, I have like 2,100 members, paid members right now, and I think I had like
Okay, I didn't get like you on OnlyFans
think I had
now.
like 35 back then. So like the comparison is shitty. You know what I'm saying? So my main thing now is I want to keep at least 2,000 subscribers and
Mhm.
grow from there. Like that's my goal. My goal, because like for when I finally got to 1,000, I was like, boom. As long as I
Can
stay,
we just stop and do the math? To over 2,000, $35 a month plus tips.
I made 73K off OnlyFans last month.
You said what?
I made 73,000 off OnlyFans last month.
Girl, let me catch up to you because
Like,
I'm just fan sites is not my thing.
and that's so crazy to me because you're such a personable individual that I feel like that would be your bread and fucking butter. And then you would be like, all right, to all your fan sites, you'd be like, all right, I'll be live at 9 p.m. And then give them the opportunity to come and see you. Like, I feel like that would be your bread and butter because I'm mean as shit. Like, I personally, the only reason people will subscribe to me is because I'm thick, I got big tits. Because I am a bitch. Like, I am not sitting here chatting with you 25/8. I'm not doing it. You're gonna get a response from me if there's a fucking tit, or you know what I mean, or if we're actually talking about something. But if you're just like, hey babe, I'm not doing it. I'm just not. I'm not one of them. I'm not. You know, like,
I
and I
don't
feel
know
like
what it is about fan sites, cam sites, clip sites, and streaming like YouTube, cool. But fan sites, I don't know. But maybe they're just waiting for me because I'm about to launch my YouTube fans subscription based on my YouTube, and I think maybe the universe was waiting for me to do something like non-sexual for it to really like take the fuck off
maybe.
versus like making all that money on OnlyFans, which I wish I could have tapped into that market, but it's just like
I
my
think it really just boils down to promotion. Like, so what a lot of people don't realize is like the biggest any successful company, it boils down to good promotion. You know what I
Mhm,
mean? It boils down to good marketing. It like people are afraid to like ask for promo or pay for promo or you know what I'm saying? And I'm not you necessarily, but like perfect example, right? Some girls, right, like that have like 30,000 subscribers. Okay. There's this girl I do promo with. I'll send you her info privately. But she does it's like $500 for promo for a mass message.
mhm,
And I think 600 if you wanted to stay pinned to her page for a week too. But the mass messages will never expire, so they'll always be there to all those people.
mhm.
Um, she charges 5 or 600 for that, depending. But think about being marketed to 30,000 people who are already certified. I don't want to call them tricks, but that's what I call them. You know what I mean? Like
Supporters.
you got to think like you're girls do all these promos on Instagram, Facebook, fucking Twitter, fucking Snapchat, like all of these things to market themselves to a whole bunch of fucking people that may or may not spend money. The best way to market yourself is to people you know for a fact already spend money. Why do I want to market myself to a bunch of people for free? Sending you a bunch of really spicy content because let's be honest, most people's promo videos are fire because you want people to come and follow you. Why
Mhm,
would I want to promo that to a bunch of people for free while I'm already promoting my other shit on my other platforms for free? You know what I mean?
mhm.
Like girls are charging $20 and $30 for promo on fucking Instagram and Snapchat and sometimes more than that and Twitter. You know what I mean? And it's like I already have 30,000 followers on Twitter. I already have 15K on Instagram. Like I
Yeah.
don't need any more free fans. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like the best way to market yourself is to promo with other girls. That's why I want to start a promo group because I feel like if we worked with a group of girls who just even you don't even have to have a minimum on your OnlyFans. Just can I would like for most of the people to have a minimum.
Well, don't say that. Don't say that. They
Yeah,
gotta have a minimum.
yeah, you gotta have a minimum because it's gotta make sense. But I'm
Yeah,
not
it has to be mutually
right, but
beneficial.
I'm also not one of those people like you have to at least have 2,000 because that's what I have. Like that's like
Mhm.
I don't know a lot of people who have that on their paid page, like regular my homegirls and shit like that. A lot of the girls I know, they either deal in porn or they deal in mini bids, or they trap, or they do campsites. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know a lot of people who just solely do OnlyFans like me. And that's because I don't fucking have the time to do anything else. I'm so invested in shit that I'm already doing that if I had the time, really, I just need to make more money so I can hire a social media manager.
Yeah.
That's where I'm
Yeah.
at. Honestly, that's where I'm at with it now. Like, I want to start a promotion team, but this is what I want to do ideally. Like, kind of what Marcus does, but removing the man side of it. Um,
Honestly, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know what that man does.
Oh, he does OnlyFans management. So like he
Okay.
takes girls' pages and like completely runs them. Like he has a whole team and like they run them. Like basically, like he sends out all the mass messages. He hand all your only job is to make the content and send it to him, and
Mm.
he handles everything else. But you got to think like he's growing girls from like 35, 40 people, 500 people to like 3,000, 5,000 people, but at 30 and 50% of the
Mm.
profits. Now, hear me out. If you only had 35 subscribers and you now have 5,000, what's 50% or 30% of that? Because 20% of his cut goes to marketing. So
Yeah.
he does spend a lot of money on promotion and stuff like that with other girls. So, like, that does make sense for somebody who doesn't already have a following. Somebody who's just getting started in the game and they're looking to gain really quickly and make money really quickly. I feel
Mhm.
like that's an amazing way to go. But I
Oh,
feel like somebody like me who already has a lot of fans and makes a good amount of money on here, like I feel like it's hard for me to like right, give somebody my password to like trust them to like do all of these things because
yeah.
I'm literally giving you a Rolodex of like and access to change my banking and just too much. A
Yeah.
lot, you know what I mean? A
Yeah.
lot of trust involved in that.
Mhm.
But I would like to form something like that, and instead of it being a 50-30% kind of thing, I would like for us to hire a social media manager. And instead of it being a percentage basis, it's a salary.
Yeah.
And they run all of ours. You see what I'm saying? Like a
Mhm.
co-op of like 20 or 30 girls. And we have like a team of like 5 people who run it for us and they get paid salary. See what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And I have people I can have do that, and it's not going to cost us an insane amount of money. I got
Mhm.
tricks who are in IT. We could have some great shit going on.
Hell
And
yeah.
they already make good ass money, so they're not even worried about it. You know what I mean? So I definitely want to start something like that because I feel like I know so many people who I would like to help do better.
Mhm.
And then I just want to like navigate more towards like, it being a co-op of people who like you're really dope at camming. I'm really dope at OnlyFans. Maybe this person will really be dope at something else. And this
Oh
person
yeah.
will
See,
really
and
be
I'm
dope.
about working with people like that. You don't have to be doing the same exact thing I do, but can we benefit each other in some sort of way?
Exactly. Bring something to the table, please.
Mhm.
That's all I'm asking. Just for you to bring
Yeah.
something to the table.
Bring some sort of value. I
Exactly.
have to bring if I'm not bringing value, even just in my friendships, it's like I can't be friends with you if you don't see me valuable in some sort of way, like, or I'm not getting something from you, like, because I'm all about everything being mutually beneficial. I can't just have people around me that just
Stagnant relationships in any form.
yeah, just take from me. It's like, what are you giving? What are you contributing?
I already have two broke best friends. I pushed them out. I don't need
Okay,
any
I
more.
will say this. I have one vanilla friend, and she always is like, "Oh, I ain't got the money this week. I ain't got." Okay, cool. But she's a really fucking good person, and she never asked me for anything, and so I
My
always say
best
when.
friend is Vanilla. She's actually my best friend in the whole world. That's like my sister. Like, but and she works her ass off, and she never asked me for anything either. But I got it. Like, this is the thing. Like, I invite her to do everything, and she always comes with the intentions of paying, and
Mhm,
always comes with the like, "Oh, I can't do that because it's not in my budget." You know
mhm,
what I mean? But I'm like, "Bitch, I didn't ask you that. Bitch, I asked you to come, bitch." You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not. You see how I am. I'm like, girl, I don't want your money. Like, I want to be around my friends. So of course I want mutually beneficial relationships. But at
mhm.
the same time, some things money can't buy. Energy, good vibes, good people, good intentions, pure intentions, money can't buy.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And not everybody who can do the same things as you financially has pure intentions for you. You know what I mean? Like bitches are mad weird and they do mad
Yes.
sneaky and shady shit. So it's like sometimes like you don't have to be on the same like you know what I mean, wave as me financially. Like if we vibe and I want you to be
Yeah.
and if I want you to be there, like I'm gonna me and my
Yes.
sister get into arguments about it all the time because I'll be like, no, bitch, I'm paying. You're gonna come. She's like, no, I can't. I'm like, all you have to do is get the days off work. It's your only job here, ma'am. Get the days off work. Put in a
Yes.
request.
And so sometimes it's good just to be around their energy and just that I feel like that's one thing. Well, now I have another, I guess, vanilla friend, but that's one thing I feel like they provide for me is like just come to my house. Let's just say, just talk to me. Like, ugh,
Just
I'm
be
getting
normal. Just come over and let's be normal.
yes,
Let's not talk about sex work
and that's
or
what I like because it's like your vanilla friends. They can't really talk to you about sex work, so you're forced to talk about other things, which
yeah,
is
and
good for your
they're not
mental.
like people who are vanilla and they're not like always asking you an obscene amount of questions about sex work either.
Hmm.
Like they're just like you're just vibing about whatever else. Like I
Yeah.
like that. Like I can talk to my sister about anything, you know what I mean? And she's gonna be understanding and not judgmental. But at the same time, right, it's nice to be able to just like genuinely talk to people and deal with people and it not be surrounded with my job. Because if I did anything else for a living, people wouldn't have continuous questions all the
Yes.
time. I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? People wouldn't be like, "Oh my god, you're a greeter at Walmart. What's that like?
Yeah.
Tell me more." See what I'm saying? Like as soon as a dude finds out you do porn, it's like fucking millions of questions.
Yeah.
Can you help me get in the industry?
That's the most irritating one. But girl, I done kept you enough of your time. So we just got to get you back on here.
Absolutely.
But thank you for coming on live with me. I really appreciate it.
Anytime. I'm gonna send you those houses I've been looking at.
Oh yeah, please do, please do.
I'm
All right.
started.
Bye
All right.
YouTubers.
Bye guys.